Reasonably practicable is kind of magic words, like magic dust that we sprinkle on the duty of care. It's a process that we prescribe on people to work out what the minimum standard and minimum expectation of the community is in relation to a particular circumstance. It's actually defined in the legislation itself as a process. It requires 5 steps to be taken. Firstly, you've got to look at the risk looked at in terms of likelihood, first step, consequences, second step. Then you've got to look at what you know about the risks and the means of controlling it. You might call that in a day-to-day language foreseeability of that risk. Then you balance that out against the controls that are available. So what can you do about that risk in terms of controlling it? And then lastly, as a last step in the process, you look at costs, including whether the costs are grossly disproportionate to the risk. The most common mistake that people make is they jump straight to step number 5 without exhausting steps 1 through to 4. And you're not allowed to do that. What you're expected to do is to exhaust steps 1 through to 4 before you can resort to an analysis of whether it costs too much to fix something. And the legislation itself gives you the biggest hint it can give you, and that is, it says you look at the costs, including whether the costs are grossly disproportionate to the risk. It'll have to be a very expensive control to outweigh anything other than a reasonably meaningful risk measured in terms of likelihood or consequences. The best way to look at this is the greater the risk, the more you're expected to do about it. The greater the risk, both in terms of likelihood or consequences, the more you're expected to do about it. And you'll be expected to do, generally speaking, something in relation to anything other than very remote risk.